So over the years, I've been able to develop some really cool tricks and techniques to be able to work out and exercise around pain, okay? There's a key thing here when you're dealing with low back pain, any kind of chronic pain. You have to kind of learn to work around it in the meantime while you exercise to train out of pain. Big difference. I'm going to show you a couple tricks here you can use with exercises like bicep curls and overhead presses that will give you the advantage of exercising around pain so that you can train out of pain. Check it out. Before we jump in, make sure you go down to the link that I'm going to show you here below. I'll also put a card up. It's a free video workshop for you. It's all about core training. If you've been told that your core is weak, if you've been told that your back pain is due to just not doing enough core, doing core right, I want to show you this video, give you this information. It'll show you all the mistakes that a lot of people, probably 95% of people in the gym right now do when it comes to core training, especially when it comes to low back pain. So that is you. If you're trying to navigate how to train your core, what to do, what not to do, how to protect the spine, especially after surgery, check out that free workshop. It's yours. All right, guys, welcome back. This is William from fitnessforbackpain.com. Happy 2020. This is the first time I've been able to say that. I know we are a couple of weeks into, maybe even over a month now, into new year. I'm hoping your new year is kicking off to an awesome start. Today, I want to show you some really cool tricks that you can do if you're in the gym and you're doing things like bicep curls, you're doing things like shoulder presses, some tips and tricks you can do with your feet and your hips that will alleviate some discomfort that you might be feeling. Now, first I'll tell you why you normally have some pain doing these types of exercises in the gym, especially if you have a sensitive low back or have some kind of history of spinal fusions or other kind of surgeries. So typically when you're doing things like bicep curls, shoulder presses, odds are as soon as this weight comes out here, right? So I'll grab some dumbbells here and I'll show you. When I come to this point here and I'm curling up, once this weight gets to this point here, my center of gravity has changed, right? So if you are dealing with a sensitive low back, once you come up to this point, your body has to compensate. So if you have a sensitive low back, odds are when you get to this point, you're gonna start to extend or you're gonna start to experience that low back tension or that exercise-induced pain. So what we wanna do is try to figure out a way to counterbalance. When you're coming up here like this to doing those curls, whether you're doing barbell curls or you're doing dumbbell curls, there's a really cool trick you can do with this. Now, with the bicep curls specifically, what I like to do is I will grab a bench, a box, a step up, whatever you kind of have here. You'll see me put my leg up on the edge of this bench here. So this might be a little bit much. You don't need to have this much flexion at the hip. You can have this much flexion at the hip, depending on what your symptoms look like and how you're feeling. So what I'll do is I will bring this leg up onto this bench, step up, whatever you have, and then I'll curl, okay? What this is doing is allowing me to press my hip or my leg into this bench, giving me some stability in my hip, therefore keeping my low back out of extension, which is the issue that we have once that center of gravity kind of gets weird. Sometimes we fault to this overextended position. So my foot is up, I'm gonna brace myself, contract my glutes, keep my hips stable and secure, then I'm gonna curl, okay? This allows me to change what's happening once that center of gravity gets changed. So you can do the same thing with the shoulder press. Very similar setup. You can have a bench here, you can have a step up, a lower bench, but you're bringing that foot off the ground, and here I would be pressing, so I'm gonna be pressing up and back down. This again is allowing me to stabilize my hip. Now, why you want to do that when it comes to the shoulder press is a little bit different than the curl. When it comes to the shoulder press, what's happening typically when you have a sensitive low back is as you're pressing, if you were just standing here and you were going to go press, what happens is as you get up, if it's getting heavier, if you're really trying to increase strength, you tend to kind of err on your form. Your form gets a little bit sloppy. You typically tend to overextend. So if you can see me, I'm pressing and I'm trying to get it up, and I'll bring my chest out, drop my shoulder blades back, and I'm trying to get it up. Therefore, I'm extending in the lower back. If you have extension intolerance or you are sensitive in this area, this is gonna be an issue for you. So by using that step, that bench, whatever you have to bring that foot elevated to stabilize the hip and pelvis, it allows you to getting those ribs down, bracing the trunk, and going through the motions, building strength, using more weight, and just being a little bit safer when it comes to protecting that lower back, especially during a sensitive season that you might be in. Now, what if you don't have a bench? What if you don't have a step up? You don't have anything to kind of put your foot up on? The next best thing for anybody who's looking to do dumbbell curls or shoulder presses, any kind of overhead pressing, is just to take a staggered stance, right? So you can do this in two different ways. I'm gonna show you one and I'll tell you the other. Let me adjust my, there we go. So the staggered stance is basically just taking your feet and you're staggering your stance. You're here. So you're no longer in this position relying on the ribs to be down, glutes to be engaged, and keeping everything in a comfortable neutral position while you're trying to max out on shoulder press or while you're trying to do some really heavy dumbbells. With the staggered stance, now you can kind of create this base or this foundation to the pelvis to help stabilize. So you've got a force acting against this direction and you've got a force acting against this direction. So what happens is as you start to get off balance because you're bringing the dumbbells up here, you're curling, your center of gravity changes, this leg here is keeping you stable. It's helping you. It's kind of extending the power and the ability of your trunk to stabilize. So what this looks like is very simple. I will stagger my stance here and I'll go through my curls. Okay, same thing, I'll stagger my stance here and I'll go through my shoulder presses all the way up into full extension. That's the standing staggered stance approach. The next one is you can do an on your knees approach. So basically what you're doing, I might as well just show you. I might as well just get down on my knees and show you. So the on your knees approach here is like this, okay? So you can curl here, you can press here, you can pull here. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Whether you're on your knees in this position here, this is called the take a knee position. If you're standing, staggered stance, or you've got your foot up onto a bench, a block, a step, doesn't matter. Start doing more of this. If you can find it, if you're doing an exercise that you're like, man, this is kind of cranking on my lower back, I'm having some experience, tension, tightness after the exercise when it comes to the barbell curls, some pulling depending on what you're doing, this is gonna be awesome for you, especially if you have a sensitive low back or some kind of history of back issues. Both are excellent ways of getting around chronic low back pain, chronic issues when it comes to exercise-induced pain. Try it out, let me know. Question for you, which exercise are you doing right now that is causing you the most discomfort after 24 hours after you do that? Let me know in the comment section below what exercise you're having issues with that you would need help modifying, and I'll put it on the list of stuff to put out for you guys. Thank you so much for checking out. Don't forget, if you have not gotten it already, I put together another free workshop on the biggest mistakes when it comes to core training. So if you have been told your core is weak, if you've been told that you need to strengthen your core to beat your back pain, there's a lot of wrong things you're probably doing because you probably got your information from a junk resource. Check out the link. I'll link it up here in the video somewhere. I'll put it in the description box below. Check it out, download it. It is 100% free and yours to keep. Thanks so much. Have an awesome week and I'll talk to you later.